Hey y'all, so my name's Alex Garcia. Honestly, never done a YouTube video before, so I'm a first-time YouTuber. So I know many of you have been asking me to do this literacy narrative. First time I literally am talking to a camera. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you don't mind, subscribe, you know, the button's right there. I mean, if you want to, if you don't want to, that's also fine too, you know. But I'd rather you subscribe if that doesn't bother you. Or if my content's not boring. Anyhow, so today, why I decided to make a YouTube video, which I've never done in my whole life. Shocking. I will be talking about my literacy narrative journey to the literate person that I am now. And as you see behind me, there's these books. You know, I just decided to film myself next to a bookshelf because, you know, it makes me look smarter. You know, these glasses make me look smart. No, I'm just kidding. I just decided it looked nice with the aesthetic and the whole topic of me being illiterate. So, hope you enjoy. Hope I'm not boring you or anything like that. So, now I feel like I am a literate person, you know, basing on my readings, based on everything I've done in my life so far. I am going to UC Davis, which feels awesome. Like, knowing the fact that I'm going to one of the top universities in the world is just mind-blowing to me. Like, you know, I've met so many great people here, and I feel like, thankfully, I am this literate person because of the journey here, and taking the courses here have made me more literate in both my writing and my reading. But that wasn't always the case, you know. My journey begins when I was 4. I was, you know, had no education. I had never read a book. I like didn't know anything, you know, like what do 4-year-olds normally do? Like play around, play with imaginary toys, have imaginary friends. Yeah, I feel like I had all those things, you know, like any typical 4-year-old. Unless those things aren't typical, then I would be concerned, you know. Anyhow, when I was young, there would always be these ads on TV about Disney books. And, you know, I had no idea how to read, no idea what the book probably even said. But, you know, because it was Disney related, I wanted it. And after months of persisting and persisting, my parents finally bought that book set for me. I remember opening The Little Mermaid and I was like, I have no idea what's happening in there. I have no idea what's like the big deal of it, you know. I had no idea what the story was about, essentially. And, you know, I guess that's where my journey started, because I was lying to everyone around me and my parents, saying that I was able to read those books because I would like make up a story based on what I saw in the book. You know, for The Little Mermaid, I thought she was just swimming with her friends and then this evil witch kidnapped her and then somehow she became free and then like hunted her down and I don't know what, but I mean, it's kind of not like too dissimilar from the story. You know, that started my whole literate journey and reading. And you know, it also started with me also with writing, because at that same moment in time when I was trying to tell these stories, I had no idea like what these words even said, you know. I couldn't read them, so I was actually just trying to copy the book, letters, words, and trying, and it was really difficult, and I was kind of feeling frustrated at that point. I mean, I hadn't even gone to school and I was already feeling frustrated. I mean, come on, like I'm in college already and I'm frustrated, and I guess I'm kind of over that notion because I was already over it like when I was 5, I guess. But you know, after writing those words, or trying to at least, I became kind of like, you know what, I want to be able to read and write so that I'm able to read these books. And you know, that takes me, you know, further in time, when like fast forward 2 years, already past kindergarten and preschool, I'm in 1st grade. I finally been able to like kind of read and write. I'm kind of able to know my colors, my ABCs, my 1, 2, 3s, you know. So like when I was able to do all that, I actually went back to the books. I actually saved those books, you know. I actually did take care of them. Shocker. So you know, it all started with me wanting to read the Lion King book. You know, I started to read it and I was trying to understand it. You know, I remember like reading Mufasa's name, Simba's name, and then I was just like, oh my god, it's just like the movie but shorter. And like I was reading these words and like looking at, and like even like not even looking at the pictures anymore, like versus when I was 5, when I was actually looking at the pictures and trying to like make up the story of The Lion King, versus now where I was actually being able to read it. And it felt like such a great accomplishment. And you know, I was like, oh my god, like I'm able to read, I'm able to understand what this book is saying, like oh my god. I guess that really pushed me into my second experience, where it was where I had to write a book. Yes, me, the person that barely was being able to read and write and like barely understand what other people's works were saying. I had to incorporate all those things into a book that I was gonna publish. In 6th grade, I was intimidated. I had never even thought of, hey, you know what, I'm gonna write a book, just like how this person wrote a book. I had never even imagined myself even doing that. That was just like out of this world concept. And when my teacher said, hey, you know, as an assignment for the end of the year, you're gonna have to write a book, and I'm just sitting there like, damn. Yeah, about that. Yeah, I can't do that. So, yeah, that's not gonna happen. And my teacher was just looking at me like, no, you're gonna have to do it or else you're not gonna pass the 6th grade and you can't move on. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you know, you're right. You know, never mind. I'm actually gonna do that assignment. And I did, you know, but you know, at starting point, I was intimidated to even write a book because I had like, oh my god, like, yeah, I know how to read and write now, but how to even conceptualize even writing a book, like that's mind-blowing, like different level, you know, like. So yeah, I mean, I eventually came up with the idea of writing a mystery book, or a mystery novel, I guess, if you want to call it. And this was all because I really back then was into like Scooby-Doo and like, I don't know, so much mystery things. Like I just loved like detective novels for some reason. Like I always like was trying to figure out like who the killer was, or what this person stole, or the mysterious background behind something, you know. Like I was always into that. Like I want to know that reason, you know. Who doesn't want to know? And I guess that really pushed me into writing this book for the 6th grade, you know, like to write this book. So I finally decided, you know, since that day they were changing the laptops, you know, all the teachers were getting new laptops, you know, it was a big upgrade because we got this grant or whatever. I literally just came up with the idea of like, hey, maybe I should write like a mystery novel of like maybe the missing laptops or what happened to them, you know. So I wrote this whole book about missing laptops, and you know, it was actually pretty interesting. You know, it was about, you know, these laptops that all the teachers that I've had throughout the years, like in that elementary school, has gone missing, and like eventually everyone's trying to figure out where they went. They were like investigating, they called the police and they called the detective, and they couldn't figure it out until the principal came with the teacher's laptop and was like, oh hey, just to let you know, I actually took them for like repairs. And so, you know, I'm writing in this book, and then I turn it in and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna fail, I'm not gonna move on, I better like just pray that, I don't know, that some miracle my teacher's gonna like it and pass me. And she comes to me and says like, wow, I really loved your book. And I'm just sitting there like, what? I was shocked to know that she actually enjoyed the story of the missing laptops, and like how I actually went from not having an idea to actually publicizing an idea. After that experience, we skip into high school, where I have to write the most important essays of my life. The most stressful ones that I've ever written in all my life. My personal statements. Yep, my personal statements. I did not know what to write for this essay. I would literally was clinging to this just because like this essay was gonna determine my future. It was gonna determine where I was gonna go in life. Like, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty important. Even more important than writing a 7-page book in 6th grade, knowing if you're gonna go to the 7th grade. Like, this was just like, am I even gonna go to UC? Like, what's gonna happen with my life? Like, oh my god, like, what am I gonna do with myself if I don't get into a UC? Like, am I a failure? And all these negative thoughts and emotions started to come after it, you know, just because of this essay. You know, I was struggling with this essay. I had like no idea what to do or write about, you know. I finally decided that, you know what, I'm gonna write it about that journey I did about writing. And to be honest, it worked out because now I'm at UC Davis, and I am so grateful for that, and for my teacher who taught me that I shouldn't fear any piece of writing and that I should dive into it without any fear. As of now, I see that journey of being literate, you know, from like, you know, trying to read the book, to writing my own book, to writing my personal statement to get into a college, to like writing my papers now at UC Davis, which has been like, you know, phenomenal. I'm pretty sure my writing and reading skills will improve immensely during my time here at Davis. Like, I'm always setting myself up for the improvement, you know. I'm pretty sure that college, like UC Davis and this course and my instructor, Averill, wants me to go from here to like, I don't know, like maximum potential, you know. They don't want me to stay at this same level. They want me to improve. So yeah, that's my story. So peace out.